Alright, hey guys, what's up? It's me. If you like the video, consider subscribing. I... Something happened to me last night, which I didn't even think was possible. Did you know that onions can be spicy? And not only can they be spicy, quite possibly that was the worst thing I've ever eaten in my entire life. You may hear this and think, oh yeah, white guy, bad spice tolerance. I'm gonna explain what happened, and hopefully you'll understand, and maybe never do this to yourself, because it was genuinely painful. But before I get into that, I love onions. I'm not trying to be like, some like Shrek copycat. Onions, quite possibly, onions are a vegetable, right? I think they are. Technically speaking, onions are my favorite vegetable. Almost any way you can eat an onion. I love onions on my burgers. I love onion rings. The bloomin' onion from Outback Steakhouse. If you've ever had a frizzled onion, if you've never heard of a frizzled onion and you've never had a frizzled onion, you need to look up what a frizzled onion is. It is perfection. I love onions almost every single way they come in, except for French onion soup, because soup is just gross, and in all 21 years of my life, I have never had a good soup. But that's beside the point. Who cares? So last night, my dad's on vacation right now. Like once a year, he goes on this like golf trip with his friends, and normally when that happens, my mom doesn't feel like cooking dinner. She orders out. So we ordered out from this diner near our house last night. Normally, when we order from the diner, I get like the same cheeseburger every time, but this time, I felt like switching it up. I didn't want to get the normal cheeseburger, so I look at the menu and I see they had this like cool burger. It was, just standard beef patty cheese, and then it had barbecue sauce and chopped red onions on it. I love onions. I love barbecue sauce. This burger sounds great, and you know what? I wanted to switch it up. So we order from the place. I get the burger. It was a decently big burger. I mean, I'd say it was about the size of my hand. And, like, the way the burger was, like, 60% of the burger, it was just patty, cheese, barbecue sauce. And the onions were, like, they didn't bother spreading them out. They just cut them in the slices and just threw them on top of each other. So I started eating the burger from, like, the patty side, no onions. And I get about halfway through the burger, and I see the onion, and I'm like, oh, wow, they're all stacked on top of each other. In my head, I was like, maybe I should move them, but I was like, it's fine. I don't care. I like onions. Maybe this is more onion flavor. So I take a bite into it. I don't really feel anything. It tastes like onions. It tasted good. I don't know. It was a good burger. I take the second bite. Something's feeling a little weird. I don't know exactly what, but like I said, it doesn't stop me. I take the third bite. At this point, this bite is essentially, I'm in like the middle, right? All of these onions stacked on top of each other. This is the core, the most like dense part of the onion. I take a bite. Within 3 seconds, my hands grip into the burger and start squishing the bread. My eyes close and I let out like my nose inhales, my mouth is crazy. That was quite possibly the hottest thing I think I have ever eaten in my entire life. And here's the thing, right? I think I have a relatively good spice tolerance, right? I like eating hot food. I'll make food hotter. Whenever we get sushi, I'm being so serious. You know how they normally give you like the glob of wasabi with the sushi? I will take that entire glob, put it on one singular piece, and I will eat it in one bite. And this onion was hotter than that. The entire glob of wasabi on one singular piece of sushi was nothing compared to this onion. So I eat it and like my eyes, like I start crying, like tears, involuntary because of how hot this is. Like I can't breathe, like I'm sweating, and for like a minute, I'm just sitting there in pain because I bit into this onion. Did you know that apparently, just if you slice, because it's not even okay, red onions out of all the onions in the world, red onions are technically the hottest just by themselves. But if you were to bite into a red onion, nothing would really happen. If you cut a red onion with a knife, if you cut it or chop it, the knife, like, onions are full of sulfur. So, when you cut it with the knife agitates the sulfur, apparently, which in turn causes this, like, heat that you can't even prepare for. Because you think of heat and you think of peppers, right? Peppers, they're filled with capsaicin, right? That's the ingredient. This is just sulfur, right? Just straight up, like a chemical sulfur. So I ate this. My spice tolerance never even prepared for this. If I were to eat these onion slices one by one, nothing would have happened. If they were evenly spread out through the burger, nothing would have happened. because of the fact that these onions were layered on top of each other and I bit into the middle of all four at the same time, I essentially got flashbanged by the devil. Like, I don't know what happened. It was the hottest thing I have ever eaten and probably will ever eat in my entire life. Because it wasn't even like you think of heat, normally it radiates around your entire mouth. This was so concentrated in one area, it actually, like, physically hurt. I would have preferred if the heat was somewhat distributed around my mouth. So I was like, oh, okay, my mouth's on fire. This was like the roof of my mouth was being shot with like a solar death ray. I don't know what happened. It was terrible. But like, and because I'm stupid and I'm hungry, I think, okay, that was weird. It was a one-time thing. I take a bite into it again. It's just as hot. And I kept eating the burger and making this worse for myself because I was hungry. Dude, how was I supposed to know that raw red onions are hot? Because if you cut the onions, or if you cut them and you cook them, they lose all the heat. This was like the one, like, remember how in like Endgame when Doctor Strange was like, there's one reality where we win. This was the one situation where red onions will genuinely mess you up. I don't know how. Dude, it was like as thick as like a starburst. Like, picture it like a starburst. That is like how thick this layer of onions was. This was the one situation that could have happened where I could have bitten into an onion and genuinely like gotten like I don't know. This video is like a PSA or something, like a rant. For the love of God, if you take anything away from this, do not chop up red onions and then just eat them. Like, do not chop them up, stack them on top of each other, and just bite into it. You will genuinely... It's terrible. It's horrible. Nothing about it is good. But, yeah, I guess it's been your boy as always. I'm gonna go now. My mouth still tastes like onions, too. It's been a day. I have brushed my teeth 3 times. 3 times since I've bitten into this burger, and my mouth still tastes like onions. It's crazy. But, yeah. I'm gonna go now. Heed my warnings or not. I don't know. I'm just the messenger. If you like the video, consider subscribing. I'm gonna bounce. Goodbye, guys.